I take the opportunity to tell you that we have some very distinguished and honored guests among us who would grace the occasion. And I request our prominent personage to please come up on the stage and poise their respective seating. Sir, please. At this time, we'll welcome our guests by presenting bouquets. First of all, I request Ms. Arifa Queen to welcome our Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Saifuddin Soz, Member of Parliament, by presenting a bouquet of flowers. Now I request Ms. Zuriyat Fatima to welcome Professor S.M. Rashid, Pro Vice Chancellor, Jamia Millia Islamia, by presenting a floral bouquet. Now I request Ms. Aina Kohol to welcome the eminent professor and the keynote speaker for the session, Professor J. Gopalakrishnan. Now I request, please welcome Professor I.B. Sharma, President ISKA. Now I request Ms. Nuba Fatima to welcome Dr. Taqir Ahmed. Thank you, young ladies. Since nothing could happen without the command of Almighty, in His goodness, He has made us able to hear the music of the world. A divine voice sings through all creation. So, we will begin our program with all praises to Almighty, and I ask for the same to Imam Sahib, Jama Masjid, Jamia Millia Islamia, to please come up and recite the few verses of Quran so that we get Almighty's blessings for the success of our efforts, as He is not in need of anything, but all things are in need of Him. Imam Sahib, please.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم صدق الله العظيم. علم اللہ کی نعمت ہے. اے پیغمبر، اپنے رب کے نام سے پڑھیے جس نے پیدا کیا ہے. پیدا کیا اس نے انسان کو بندھے ہوئے خون سے. پڑھیے اور تیرا رب بڑا کریم ہے جس نے سکھایا انسان کو علم قلم کے ذریعے سے. سکھائیں اس نے انسان کو وہ باتیں جو وہ نہیں جانتا تھا. مطلب زمین و آسمان کی ساری نعمتیں اس نے تمہاری خاطر پیدا کی ہیں. پھر اس نے انسان کو علم کی ایک ایسی نعمت بخشی جو کسی مخلوق کو عطا نہیں کی گئی. علم اللہ کا نور ہے، روشنی ہے جو انسان کو دنیا کے اندھیروں میں ٹھوکروں سے بچاتا ہے. علم کو ہر طرف تلاش کرو اور جہاں بھی ملے اس کو حاصل کرو، پھر اس علم کو خرچ کرو، اس لیے کہ علم ایک ایسا سرمایہ، ایک ایسی دولت ہے جو خرچ کرنے سے کم نہیں ہوتی بلکہ اور بڑھتا ہی ہے۔ کوئی بھی علم کسی ملک، قوم یا فرد کی میراث نہیں ہے، بلکہ وہ علم جو خدا کے بندوں کو نفع پہنچائے، اس کو سیکھنے اور سکھانے کا بلا تفریق ملک و ملت سب کو پورا پورا حق حاصل ہے۔ قرآن میں ارشاد ربانی ہے کہ جاننے والے اور نہ جاننے والے برابر ہو سکتے ہیں؟ کیا دھوپ اور سایہ برابر ہو سکتی ہے؟ ظاہر ہے کہ علم ہی کی وجہ سے اس حضرت انسان کو خدا کی باقی مخلوق پر برتری حاصل ہے، بالخصوص وہ علم جو دوسروں کے ترقی اور کامیابی کا ذریعہ بنے۔ شکریہ آپ کا۔
What a wonderful and enlightening recitation it had been. Thank you, Imam Sahib. We are very thankful to all the dignitaries on the dais for their presence. It is an honor for us to have them here. Now, I would like to request our Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor S.M. Rashid, to please felicitate our Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Saifuddin Soos, by presenting a memento and a shawl as a token of gesture. Thank you, sir. Now, I request Professor I.B. Sharma, President ISCAS, to please felicitate our Honorable PVC, Professor Rashid, by presenting memento and the shawl. Thank you, sir. Now I request Professor Sharif Ahmed to felicitate Professor J. Gopalakrishnan, the keynote speaker. Thank you, sir. Now I request to Dr. Taqir Ahmed to felicitate Professor I.B. Sharma, President ISCAS. Thank you, Dr. Ahmed. Now I request Professor I.B. Sharma to please felicitate Professor Sharif Ahmed on behalf of Indian Association of Solid State Chemists and Allied Scientists, ISCAS. Thank you, sir. Now I request to our Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Saifuddin Soos, to release the book of abstract and to formally inaugurate the program. So please. Thank you to all the dignitaries on the dais. In the last decade of the 20th century, research into solid state chemistry expanded very rapidly. as we know that the human society is becoming increasingly dependent on advanced materials, which is further fueled by the dramatic discovery of high temperature ceramic oxide superconductors in 1986. We'll endeavor to give you a flavor of the excitement that some of the research has engendered, and perhaps more importantly, the background to understand these developments and those which are yet to come. This National Symposium is providing a forum for national experts to share knowledge as well as the opinion and to explore global trends, innovations, and opportunities in solid state chemistry. The aim of this conference is to bring together the eminent scholars and industrial experts for a productive and profitable engagement to promote the expansion and the escalation of solid state chemistry. And we hope that this conference will stimulate the young scientists to carry out quality research in the frontier areas of solid state chemistry, materials science, nanoscience, and nanotechnology. At this instant, we move on to the rest of the program. For that, I request Professor Sharif Ahmed, the Chairman ISCAS 2011, to formally welcome our notable guest and the participants who have come from different parts of country and abroad to become the part of this event. So please.
Good morning, everybody. Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Saifuddin Sos, MP, ex-Environmental and Forest Minister, a very senior and dedicated statesman, educationalist, social activist, and member of various parliamentary committees. Honorable PVC, Professor S.M. Rashid, and experts in the field of remote sensing, Professor J. Gopalakrishnan, a keynote speaker, is a legend in the field of solid-state chemistry, considered as one of the founder scientists of materials chemistry and solid-state research in India. He is presently honorary professor and INSA senior scientist in ISC Bangalore. Dr. Sharma, President of Indian Association of Solid-State Chemistry and Allied Sciences. Professor Khalil Ahmed, Dean Faculty of Natural Science. Distinguished delegates from India and abroad. Dear colleagues and students, it gives me a great pleasure to welcome you all on behalf of Organizing Committee, Member ISCAS and Department of Chemistry, Jamia Millia Islamia. We are thankful to the eminent panel of speakers for accepting our invitation and agreeing to be with us in spite of their busy schedule. The presence of Professor B. Vishwanathan, Honorary Director, Center for Catalytic Research, IIT Madras, is a matter of great encouragement for us. This is a historical moment for all of us to have such a big gathering of scientists and technologists. The ISCAS 2011 is being organized by the Department of Chemistry in association with Indian Association of Solid-State Chemists and Allied Scientists on the occasion of International Year of Chemistry, to provide a forum and opportunity for a useful discussion pertaining to the development of advanced and modern society. Before I proceed further, let me give a brief introduction about the department. It is one of the oldest departments in the university, established in 1963 with BSc pass course. In 1973, BSc Honours was introduced, and in 1985, MSc Materials Chemistry started. Even at that time, this branch of chemistry was not internationally recognized. The other three branches of organic, inorganic, and physical chemistry were introduced at PG level in 1992. Since then, the department is continuously progressing and improving the standard of various courses. The DST, FIST, and UGC SAP program of first stage is successfully going to complete in the department. The department, comprising 20 faculty members, All of them are actively engaged in providing the strong academic and research training to the UG, PG, and research students. Most of the faculty members are having research projects of worth rupees 3.5 crore of various funding agencies. Furthermore, the department is publishing around 75 papers per year in the journals of international and national reputes with reasonably high impact factors. At present, 45 PhD students, 3 Kothari postdoc fellow, and few CSIR pool officer and RA are enrolled in the department. I firmly believe that the conference will provide a path for scientists, academia to examine the recent development and advancement in different areas of chemistry. I hope that the conference will be very informative, impactful, and will also serve the aim of ISCAS. Our students will certainly have a chance to interact with the experts of the field. Let me allow to share some of the challenges ahead the materials and solid-state chemist, such as easy processability, quality maintenance, serviceability, and controlled properties of indigenous developed materials to meet the requirement of global challenges. It is important to mention here that the research interests of faculty members of the department are in the field of thermodynamics of intermolecular interaction, kinetics of organic and inorganic reactions, rare earth and transition metal complexes, sustainable resource-based polymers, conducting polymers, nanometal oxides, nanometal ferrites, hydrogels, water pollution, coatings and corrosion, etc. In the last but not least, I, and on behalf of the organizing committee, is grateful to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Mr. Najib Jung, for providing a stimulating and encouraging environment as well as for generous financial support. The department is also grateful to ISCAS for its offer to organize such a mega event. I also acknowledge the various organizations for their financial and moral support to organize the ISCAS 2011. I am thankful to the administrative staff and others for providing the facilities to organize the conference and their help. I wish a grand success for the event. Thank you, please.
Thank you, sir, for your warm greetings to all the dignitaries on the dais, invitees, delegates, and the students. As you know that this 7th National Symposium and Conference on Solid-State Chemistry and Allied Areas is being organized by Department of Chemistry, Jamia Millia Islamia, in association with the Indian Association of Solid-State Chemists and Allied Scientists, ISCAS. The ISCAS Society is the only recognized society dedicated to the promotion of research and teaching of solid-state chemistry and allied areas in the country. The ISCAS conference is 7th in this series at Jamia. Prior to this, it has been organized by Jammu University, IIT Kanpur, IIT Delhi, Goa University, Nagpur University, and VIT Vellore in sequence. As you know that we have Professor I.B. Sharma, President ISCAS, among the dignitaries on the dais. Professor I.B. Sharma is a professor and a former dean associated with Jammu University, and I request him to please present his valuable remarks about the conference and the society ISCAS. Sir, please.
Respected Professor Soz, respected Pro Vice Chancellor Professor Rashid, respected Professor Gopal Krishnan, Professor Sharif, Head of the Department of Chemistry, Jamia Millia Islamia, Professor Tokair Ahmed, Convener, ISCAS 2011, Shri Ravindra Sharma, Member, Jammu and Kashmir Legislative Assembly, Professor E2 from Japan, Professor B. Vishwanathan from IIT Madras, Professor Kulshrestha from Bhava Atomic Research Center, Mumbai, Professor Virk from Amritsar, and my dear colleagues from ISCAS, faculty and students from Jamia Millia Islamia. On behalf of the Indian Association of Solid State Chemists and Allied Scientists, I welcome you in the 7th Symposium cum Conference of this association. In an era of industrial and technological growth, there is ever-increasing demand of materials. And the materials may be superconductors, may be magnetic materials, may be nanomaterials, may be materials for conversion of and storage of energy, and so on. Their demand is ever increasing in this world of growth and development. During last 3 decades, Indian scientists have made tremendous contribution in this field. But I believe in a country of 1.2 billion human beings, the contribution is not enough. Before I dwell on this aspect, may I tell you that solid-state chemistry acts as a mother science for material science, whatsoever type of materials may be, because it is the knowledge and expertise of chemists that we are able to synthesize materials of desired structure, properties, and requirement. Therefore, its knowledge is fundamental and essential if we are venturing into the arena of material science. As I said, that contribution of Indian scientists is not that much as it should have been. The reasons are twofold to my understanding. Number one, there is a lack of trained manpower in this country as far as solid-state science is concerned, because of lack of understanding. And number two, the facilities available in our universities are very limited. As we know, the universities have to run very many courses. And for this very science, we need instruments worth crores of rupees. So, because of this limitation, universities are not able to provide all those facilities to people working in this area, and hence, the contribution remains limited. As you know, ours is a developing country, and the rural population still demands that we have some system for purification of water in a remote village, which could cost 400-500 rupees, that we are not able to provide. And it is the responsibility of the scientists working in material science area that we provide this facility to those poor people. Friends, about 14 years back, we at all India level looked at this problem and decided that we should have an association which can provide a forum to the people to interact and work for advancement of this science. And therefore, in 1998, this association was created, and we are happy that during these about 14 years, we have been able to provide a platform to the solid-state scientists, not only chemists, physicists, geologists, and all the material scientists, and so on. We have brought all of them on one platform. We have been organizing workshops so that we are able to train young people in this area. Then it was decided that in different parts of the country, especially in remote areas, we have certain facilities. And looking at this aspect, we have established ISKAS Institute of Solid State and Material Science at Jammu University. And perhaps it is the unique, very unique development that by contribution of the members of an academic association, an institute of research has been established. In our country, we have heard that mandirs and masjids are, of course, constructed with the donations of the people. But an academic and that too research institute, where nothing is charged, everything is provided free, has been established, that too by contribution of teachers and research staff. So this is a unique effort by the association. We are trying to establish such centers at other places also. The Vice Chancellor of North Maharashtra University, Jalgaon, had invited association sometimes back. Myself and Dr. M.R.R. Prasad from Vikram Sarabhai Space Center, Trivandrum, visited that. They offered us a piece of land and financial assistance also. I'm happy to tell you, I won't name because things have not crystallized. A retired professor from a major city of Uttar Pradesh has offered one of their houses to the association if we establish such a research institute in Uttar Pradesh. So association is trying to, within its limitations, to develop such centers so that the people, especially those scientists who are coming from smaller universities, from colleges, and so on, they can come there, they can work, they can get expert advice from the people of ISKAS, and so on. Colleagues and friends, I would like to draw your attention on another aspect, that is the quality of research. In India, when we get entry into university and even colleges, and then those who are appointed, they go for promotion, we are asked to show some research work. And because of very limited facilities, most of the people are not able to provide quality work. So in this process of necessity, bogus data is generated. That is neither useful for the society nor for science. There is a need for us that whatsoever research we do, that is quality research. Let us not run after the number of publications. May I tell you, many of us have gone abroad and have done, almost everybody from India, whosoever goes abroad, does beautiful work there. But once we come, the momentum is retarded. Why? Because the environment and facilities are not able. And this is my firm belief that great universities and educational institutions are not merely dependent upon very high-rise building. These are the teachers. These are the qualities of the teachers which make great institutions. So I would pray to research facility, academia in this country, that please don't go after the number of publication, quantity of, but go after the quality. Most of the research that we generate in this country is I'm sorry to point out that is neither useful for science nor for the society. You have heard about a word, impact factor of the papers. Impact factor, as all of us know, that depending upon the type of journal where our publication is published, we get certain mark, 1.5, 0.1, so on. I feel that in a country like India, although there is a lot of discussion in the country and perhaps everywhere that what should be the parameters for deciding impact factor, but I feel that while judging my research, there should be one parameter, that what contribution my research has done to the society, to the people who are funding my research, who are paying tax, poor people, and they are providing me facilities, they are providing me laboratory. So this parameter should also be including, it should be one of the factors for deciding and judging the impact factor. During the next 3 days, we have a very tight schedule, and I'm very sure that the lectures will be quite stimulating, and we will have very interesting interactions with leading scientists of the country during the last 3 days. Before I conclude, I heartily welcome Professor Soz and heartily thank him. He has very, very tight schedule, and despite all this, he has spared his valuable time to come here and bless and give direction to this gathering. I am thankful to Pro Vice Chancellor Professor Rashid for coming over here and presiding over today's function. I am extremely thankful to Professor J. Gopalakrishnan, who is a world-renowned authority on solid state and material science. Despite his some problems with the health, he has come over here. I once again heartily welcome him. I welcome Professor Vishwanathan and all other my friends from all over the country for making it convenient and sparing their time to bless and address young scientists from all over the country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Sharma. The inaugural address will be delivered by Professor Saifuddin Soz, Member of Parliament, who is the chief guest for the occasion, to enlighten the gathering with his notable observation.
The leading authority on this subject, Professor Indu Bhushan, President ISCAS, Professor Sharif Ahmed, Head Department of Chemistry, Jamia Millia Islamia, Dr. Tawqir Ahmed, and friends. I felt puzzled as to how a non-science man can be the chief guest, and it appeared to me to be somewhat embarrassing. But then Professor Indu Bhushan and myself, we belong to the same state. I thought I must agree to come here. I will say a little story of science, but that will be later. First of all, at the very outset, I must congratulate the Indian Association of Solid State Chemists and allied scientists, ISCAS, in association with Jamia Millia Islamia Central University, New Delhi, for organizing 7th Biennial National Symposium and Conference on Solid State Chemistry and Allied Area at Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. Human society is increasingly dependent on advanced solid state materials, whether these are semiconductors, metals, superconductors, polymers, catalysts, composites, magnetic materials, fast ion conductors, hydrogen storage materials, amorphous materials, molecular magnets, or nanomaterials. Solid-state chemistry has played pivotal role in tailor-making the materials. The great skills of solid-state chemists in developing methods of synthesis and their understanding of the structure property, relationship has made it possible to design materials which have specific structure and properties with wide range of applications. Solid-state chemistry is a multidisciplinary subject and forms the lifeline of materials science. It has played a great role in materials development in wide-ranging fields of strategic importance such as atomic energy, space, defense, energy security, and so on. I am glad to know that the Indian Association of Solid-State Chemists and Allied Scientists, ISCAS, was founded on March 4, 1998. It is a registered society with its registered office at Jammu. In addition to a large number of annual and student members, the association has about 400 life members from about 50 leading universities of the country and abroad, such as BARC, Mumbai, Vikram Sarabhai Space Center, Trivandrum, 6 IITs, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, and many other leading private and autonomous organizations. I am also happy to know that the membership is open to scientists and academia working in solid-state chemistry and allied areas. The aims and objectives of the association include popularization and promoting teaching and research in solid-state chemistry,